50 tackles, 11 from marker. Greg Eden, 187 metres. Mahe Fanua, 1 try, 6 tackle, both 130 metres. Beretta Faremo, 105 metres. Latrell, so for the losers, Latrell,
Shamkel.
5 tackle balls, 114 metres, and Ollie Ashelbot, 1 try, 8 tackle balls, 102 metres. He's playing well for.
He's certainly getting the stats, isn't he? If you need a cheap option at fullback in your fantasy team, he's out there as an option.
Yeah, so I mean, this was a close game, and in fact, Toulouse were sort of kept nudging in front, but Castleford got home in the end. I mean, I did watch the highlights. Defence wasn't great on either side, from what I could see, Mark. My biggest takeaway was that whilst Catalan have by far the best shirts in the Super League consistently, year in, year out, Toulouse look like they are going to be bottom of that league. Their shirt is horrendous. Well, there you go. And the crowd is very disappointing.
There's a few nice touches. Hankinson's really revelling, I think, in that Toulouse side. He set up a really nice offload for Russell's try, but I think those two names symbolise what they are. They're bottom end of Super League, top end of Championship. They're not the next level up. And they brought in a few guys who could potentially be the next level up, but still, to an extent, finding their feet. That's understandable, but you shouldn't be finding your feet halfway through the season. You should have found your feet, and it's a shame that they're scrambling around still. We've talked about that plenty of times. Defensively, there's always a few horror moments defensively whenever you watch back a Toulouse game, and the Mahe Fanua try that won the game felt like one of those moments.
Exactly that.
I know it was hot though. It was hot, and they'll be tired, and you're going to fall off defenders, you're going to fall off tackles as defenders and stuff like that. I do get it, and it was late in the game, but still, you'd hope that they're finding a way to fix up some of these sloppy, close to their own line tries that they're consistently giving away. But in a big moment, they gave another away. Yeah,
they did. And it's not looking good for them at the moment. It's looking increasingly difficult. Although, obviously, Warrington are doing their very best to help to keep it competitive at the bottom.
Well, they are, but in a way they aren't, are they? We'll get to that in Game 6 because, Toulouse could have done more Warrington winning that game. But, do you want to take us through the news stories from this one?
I will, yeah. So, Andrew Dixon from Toulouse got a grade A trip, no match penalty notice. Castleford Tigers have re-signed young forward Sam Hall to a new 2-year contract. Castleford Tigers have released Jax O'Neill to allow him to, quote, pursue another opportunity, unquote, of appearing on the ITV reality show Love Island, whatever that is. O'Neill, 23, has played for the Super League club 29 times since signing in 2019 and was named in England Knights performance squad of 2021. Tigers are first option to sign the hooker if he decides to return to rugby league next year after getting his leg over somewhere in the exotic, wherever it is they hold.
Yeah, the pursue another opportunity was the wording of the statement from Castleford, right? But obviously, we'd all heard the reports he was going to be going into the Villa. I don't know. I've never watched it. Apparently, Michael Owen's daughter's in there as well, but we'll leave that to the younger listeners. If someone out there wants to be our weekly correspondent on Jax O'Neill's performances in Love Island and send in some feedback every week for us to read out and tell people about, feel free to do so. Is he making rugby league look better or worse, or not shifting the needle at all on the public consciousness of rugby league? Let us know, people.
Is he getting off with Michael Owen's daughter? That's what I want to know.
Apparently she's not very popular. People think she's a bit of a knob, so...
Well, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I thought Michael Owen was a knob, so that's no surprise.
I have the lad who sits next to me at work is a young fella, and he watches this Love Island business.
It seems to be very popular with the young ones. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I don't count myself as old, but I feel like I must be. It just doesn't resonate with me, this sort of thing. But
No.
that said, I'm sure it resonates with lots of people. And hopefully it is a publicity opportunity for Rugby League, potentially. Maybe if he walks around the villa in his Castleford Tigers trunks or something. I don't know.
Not holding my breath, mate. Not holding my breath. Mitch Garbutt will leave Toulouse Olympic at the end of the current season.
Yeah, late line in on this. It's apparently is going to become the player coach at Elite One Championship side St. Gaudens, whatever you pronounce that. I've had too many beers to care for next season. Yeah, I'm doing well to read it, David. So he's moving he's moving down a level, but stepping up in terms of responsibility.
Indeed.
Right, let's get on to your game.
Yes.
Sunday afternoon, 3:00 kickoff it was, wasn't it? The Roby game. It was 18-12 at half time, so close game. St. Helens over Hull KR. 26 points to 18 was how it finished up. 9,850. Why couldn't you get over 10,000 there for Roby's big game?
Very disappointing crowd. Well, for a Sunday afternoon as well.
You must all be on holiday. Must all have been on holiday.
That might be it. I just got back in time.
Marcus Griffiths was the referee in this one. Saints made over 354 metres at 1 metre per carry better average gain. It was 5 breaks each though, and both sides went below 90% team tackle success rate. Interestingly, this game had the most successful offloads of any so far this year. 35, which was shared 15 by Saints and 20 by Rovers. Indeed.
It was an offload-a-thon. For the winners, the magnificent Tommy Makerson, 1 try and 159 metres. Here's my most improved player of the year. Conrad Hurrell, 1 try, 5 tackle busts, 121 metres and 2 clean breaks. He's just playing so well.
Certainly as a benchmark from where we thought he would be to where he is.
Oh my God. Honestly, it's not what I expected at all, Mark. His defence is still not great, but with the ball, he's been amazing.
It shows when you've got a quality side around you can cover up the odd error a game that he makes, can't you?
Yeah, and he's dropped a few pounds, and I think he's been given a role that he's enjoying playing. When he came down the middle in the second half and absolutely smashed through 2 people. Coote will still be having nightmares this week. Alex Walmsley, 1 try assist, 120 metres, and second man of the match, Jack Wellesby, 1 try assist, 7 tackle busts, 116 metres, 4 offloads, and a sin binning again.
Was it a bell-endy sin binning, or was it?
It was a stupid bell-endy sin binning again.
I hope Sean Wayne gets in his ear about this sort of thing this week, because we can't afford him doing this in the World Cup.
We can't afford him doing it in the bloody league games. I hope Wolf gets in his ear. After his stupid bell-endy sin binning, he played very well, but it was.
Oh, he's awesome. This is the thing, isn't it? We don't want him to. We don't need another player distracting from how fucking brilliant they are by being a knobhead.
Exactly. Don't be a dick, mate. Losers: Frankie Holton, 135 metres and 6 offloads. Sean Kenny Dowell, who was excellent. 1 try assist, 9 tackle busts, 132 metres and 3 offloads. Fatty Ryan Hall, 1 try and 8 tackle busts, 120 metres and 2 clean breaks. And Matt Parcell, 10 marker tackles, 5 tackle busts and 104 metres.
Matt Speakman was first to get in touch about this game. He said Roby deserves all the plaudits he gets and more. Champion player who will definitely be missed. Looks as though KR gave them a game and are looking a bit more like their old selves. SKD is a good choice for Combi's captain too. So a bit of credit from across Billinge Hill for Roby there, and I'm going to follow that up at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he's certainly right about SKD. I thought he had a very good game,
and he's shown really good leadership, hasn't he?
A terrific player.
Yeah.
He really is. Still a very good player. Mike Webb, 58. The game was only about 1 man. The Hurrell came, barreling over KR players at will. Seriously, Robes, what a player and leader. Hopefully going around one more time. We certainly hope so. Good to see Liam Moore joining the fun and running the line in Lederhosen and being a Stein.
I tell you what, if James Roby had gone round one more time before he put that ball down on his try, he'd have been too dizzy to score it, wouldn't he?
I tell you what, I'd have liked bloody Liam Moore refereeing rather than Marcus Griffiths. But anyway, let's. I don't want to get stuck into the referee.
Tom Andrews said, the long wait for a win over Saints goes on, but at least it wasn't a pasting. Few 50-50s, Parcell going brain dead, and too many errors cost in the end. Can't do that against the champions.
Yeah.
So all I can remember from watching the highlights of this one is Roby's try, where he turns around twice and then manages to barrel in under the sticks. But, you know, it's absolutely amazing what he keeps doing at his age. Sets the record for most appearances in Super League now, doesn't he? And there is whispers that he's going to go around next year. I personally would much prefer he plays in the World Cup than goes around next year. But
I'm the opposite, obviously.
Well, yeah, but we need him in the World Cup. We'll get to the Combi squad later, but fucking McIlroy in the combine in the England squad. Get over it.
At the moment, we need Roby next year because Lussick doesn't look like he's fit enough to play at this level to me. I mean, there's something wrong when Roby plays. He played 70 minutes of this game because when Lussick came on, Roby just went into loose forward. So he played 70 minutes of this game, Roby. Lussick played 20. So he just isn't fit enough. And he's half decent with the ball, Lussick. He can tackle all right, but he's trailing back when we've been on breaks, and that's not good enough. So I understand why there've been some sort of rumours about Dwyer and so on and so forth. I think Saints are starting to scratch their heads and wonder whether Lussick's the answer. So at the moment, I'm very much hoping Roby will go round again next year.
Yeah, and on the topic of Roby, I mean, I could talk about how much I love James Roby as a player, as I have done for 9 series of this show now. But with you being the Saints man, tell me where he ranks for you in the greatest of all time, in his position, as a leader, as a general all-round player. What do you think?
I mean, we've been blessed at Saints to have some fairly terrific players during the Super League era, and indeed going back a long time before that. I'd certainly rank him in the top, the top 3-4 players I've seen play live for Saints. There was a poll run recently by Red V about who we thought was better, Cunningham or Roby, and I think most young people would say that Roby was their favourite player. I think probably you'd say Roby was their favourite, but I'm even though Cunningham's a knobhead, for me Cunningham was the better hooker overall.
Yeah, I've seen them both, and their eras overlapped, but it is a different.
Yeah,
I don't think Cunningham could have done as good as Cunningham did in today's game as he did in the late 90s and early 90s.
Yeah, he might not have been able to. But what the thing about Cunningham, I mean, pound for pound, Roby's probably the strongest player at Saints, and always has been, at least since Gary Connolly left. He was incredibly strong.
Oh God, yeah.
He was incredibly strong. But Roby probably pound for pound is the strongest player. But Cunningham was just a much bigger player.
Yeah, and he was really smart, and he tackled in a different way, didn't he?
He did.
He hit people. He was niggly in what he did, but he was physical in what he did. Roby's niggly in a different way. It's more about control. But I just think, to me, if I was sitting down and writing out my Super League all-time team, you look at people who've shown longevity in single positions where they've been the best player in their position most of the seasons that they've played.
Yeah.
And it's not through the want of challenge in his position either. There's been other people like Darrell Clark who's had incredible seasons. Houghton's won a Man of Steel, McShane's won a Man of Steel, but Roby's still better than all of them. I think he's been outstanding, and he seems like a decent guy. He seems like a really good influence.
He's a terrific influence at Saints. He's a genuinely lovely fella. There's no edge